from Italy, Gaia Tormena, from Estonia, Merili Silverian, from Turkey, Zebekarian, from Kazakhstan, Tatiana Geneleva. They're ready for the semi-finals, for the quarter-finals, to be in the
Bringing you
semi-finals.
all of the action today from Sakarya in Turkey.
We've got a fantastic race programme coming up for you with loads of action. And in fact, it's already been jam-packed. Emma here with us for the first time behind the mic. But Emma, you've watched lots of racing of mountain bike and XCE.
Oh, I've been addicted to the XCE, absolutely, in Sakarya today, northwest of Turkey. It's a region of lakes, rivers, beaches right by the Black Sea, the 2023 European Sports City. And what a venue we are in today. It is indeed a bicycle-friendly city with the venue hosting road, mountain bike marathon, XCE, BMX and bike festivals.
So let's take a look at the race route. Let's have a fly through from our start line. The riders head down the start-finish straight. They come up on to the bank. It is a jostle for position for the first tight left-hand bend. This bend leads us down, and then we have the tight right. The chicane, really critical to line up for what is a very technical hill. Now, this has seen a lot of problems for the riders in practice, particularly on this left-hand bend. And that is before we get to our rock garden. Down over the rock garden, quickly into the jump, re-stabilise around the right and left tight chicane. Well, you think it's all over. It definitely isn't, because you go up and over this huge bridge, this boardwalk, up over the container before a tight left and a very short sprint into the finish. Quick lap. It's a little bit longer for our riders, but it is going to be frantic out there. So you can see the riders in the time trial, and this is how the race runs. So, Emma, just run us through the leaders and the runners there in the time trial.
Well, Tormena, Fromberger, Van Diest, De Vries, the first 4 riders qualifying. I think the key thing to note, Matt, is Madison Boissier finished 7th here in Sakarya last year, and she's not made it through the time trial.
So our riders off and away. This is heat number 1. This is Gaia Tormena with Meryl Sevel. She's got the number 8 plate. The number 9 plate is Caesar Becker, and Tatiana Geneleva from Kazakhstan with that 16 plate. But it is a multi-time world champion who is leading them out up off the ascent and into this tight left-hand turn. So round the left turn we go. You can just see these riders are struggling to contain the rider who is the hot favourite here. Gaia Tormena takes the time right now. Just watch those wheels come around. We've seen a number of slide outs on the way up and over the hillside, but Tormena up in the gap. Now, the format is 2 riders through from the quarterfinals into the semi-finals, 2 riders out of competition. So, if you're in first place, you secure, as Tormena is at the moment. In second and third place, it is looking a lot closer at the moment, and that is where that battle is now, down over the rock garden. Interesting, going to the right-hand side, slightly on that rock garden, into the sweeping bends. So, Tormena leading out the Italian world champion, looking like she has this secure. But remember, there is still the big container bridge to go, where our riders will go up and over. And we have seen problems on the way down here last year for Mariska Strauss losing her chain on that descent, but no problems for Tormena. So Tormena's going to come through clear in the lead. Who will come through in second and third places? Who will qualify for this? Tormena cruising as she comes up to the line, puts it on one wheel. That's the skills that pay the bills. She's going to come through, and immediately behind her, I think that is going to be Meryl Silvel, who's going to come through and qualify. Emma, take us through our qualifiers and the highlights of that.
Yeah, it was indeed Tormena just doing enough to stay clear in heat number 1. She put in the effort to start with. She went clear on the course, and then she checked regularly on the gap and did enough to qualify. Serval coming in second place for that second qualification, 5 seconds back on Tormena, and look at that, she's showing you how to have fun on XCE.
Indeed, lots of fun. So, as you can see, Tormena qualifying with Serval, then Geneleva and Becker eliminated out of the competition. Next, 4 riders lined up on the start line as they are ready to go. Our riders will go on the sound of the whistle. They get the 15 seconds to go board. You have got our 4 riders down there, Hannah Becker, you've got Irina Popova, you've got Didier De Vries and Marcelina Matos, who won round number 1 last year. Away they go now. Look out for Matos, having lots of power from the start. She's a very strong rider, but Didier De Vries in the red, white and blue really is pushing up on her shoulder here. Great riding by Lima Matos at number 12 plate, but at the moment they are going to be led into this left-hand turn, and it looks to me like it is going to be the rider with that number 5 plate, Irina Popova, who's going to lead down, taking that left-hand turn. They're tight together. Look at De Vries. She's got Matos on the right-hand side, and the fight is for 2nd and 3rd place at the moment. Our single leader clear, and you can just see there is no quarter given now. Matos into 2nd position at the moment. Can she hold on to it as they go up and over the top?
This is absolutely fast and furious as De Vries comes on the outside of Matos, and this is such a technical section on this climb.
It really is a key part of the climb here as you come in, and they are closing back on the wheel of Popova, the leader, as they come up this climb. It's De Vries in 2nd place. Now, Marcela Lima Matos of Brazil was a hot favourite here at the moment. She's got a lot of work to do. She's in 3rd position. Remember, 2 through. 2 eliminated here, and this is going to come down to the very last obstacle. 2 riders starting to pull clear. Didier De Vries is not content on being in 2nd place. She's moving up into the lead. She picks a line down here. She's squeezing Popova, and it looks to me like Matos in the wrong gear as she hit the landing there. They're going to come around the turn, but no matter what power Matos has, it's not going to answer the 2 riders in front. They come through. Wow, Didier De Vries on form there.
That was an absolutely cracking heat too, with those women, and Didier De Vries coming through towards the end there. She was not in 1st place all the way through. She did not have that her own way. She dropped to 3rd, she came back to 2nd, and then she came through in 1st place.
Great riding by our riders. Hannah Becker going through in 4th place, but the big news is Matos eliminated now. Matos on the right-hand side of your screen, not having the greatest start here. I mean, it was pretty key, wasn't it?
Well, this first small thicker of a climb out off the start line, in fact, it's before this bridge, was absolutely the deciding factor of the 1, 2, 3 in which order they went out on the course, because they were side by side in the very, very early part of this course, and as the course narrowed, that's what gave the lead to Popova.
It was, but a move by De Vries. Great move by her on that right-hand side. She went in going over the top, and that meant she didn't have any risk, did she, of not qualifying, going in 1st place. She wasn't likely to be passed on the way through. So you can see our 2 qualifiers on your screen as we move on to heat number 3 of our quarterfinals. Esther Barecki alongside Alina Sakalova. You've got Ella Holmgaard and Marion Fromberger. Fromberger, the 2nd fastest rider in the qualifying.
Yeah, and only 0.12 of a second back.
So away they go, and you can just see at the moment it is Holmgaard who is kicking out. Ella Holmgaard from Sweden in that distinctive blue and yellow kit, making the way to start. Looks over her shoulder as they're coming into the climb. They hit the climb, and you can just see on the side that the Kazakhstan rider wants to move up. They all know that positioning really key as they come down, but it is currently Holmgaard, and Holmgaard elbows out there. Our riders are allowed some contact, but it is only some. They can't deliberately take each other off, but look at that move. Great move by Alina Sakalova going over and around the side there of Holmgaard into the lead, but we are now making our way up on to the climb. At the moment, it is could be any one of these 3 riders who are eliminated. And behind, looks to me like we've got Barecki just struggling with the pace at the moment.
Yeah, and a nice move there over the bridge from the rider to put Holmgaard into 3rd place. Now, she's going to need to be really careful because 3rd place is not a qualifying position.
and she has to make a move up. Interesting to see she's taking a different line down the rock garden. The two leaders going on what is their left are right down there, but anything can happen. Oh, little mistake there, I think, on the left-hand turn there by Alina Sokolova, but you can just see right behind Marion Fromberger is absolutely glued to that back wheel in the German national kit. So the rider in front in the light blue and yellow is going to lead in towards the finish. Alina Sokolova is going to take this. Marion Fromberger shuts off the gas. She knows she's secure, and Ella Homegaard is going to be eliminated here. That is a big surprise, and I think Esther Barecki out of the reckoning as well. We wait for that to be confirmed on our screens.
Well, that was an absolute classic heat there with constantly changing pace. We had Homegaard leading that out. As you can see from the front here, they were one long line behind her down the start straight. And then the second we got into the climb in the first corner, it all changed with Sakarya overtaking Homegaard, pushing her into second. We came up to the bridge, we came up and over the bridge, and that's where Fromberger made her move. She went into that technical climb in second place, and she never left it.
She didn't indeed, and you can just see some effort went into that, almost disbelieving she was through, but it is a Sakalova from Fromberger. The two qualifiers with Homegaard and Barecki out of the competition, which leaves us one more heat number 4 to come. We're into our last 15 seconds of countdown. So we have Valentina Schrotzenberger, we have got Simois, as well as Van Diest, and of course we've got Huberts here now as they come in. Big kick off the start line there, and you can just see there's some serious power going down at the moment. That is Almund Van Diest who's going to lead them up in the dark kit as they come take the left hand turn on. You can just see that silver helmet leading the train of riders through, but immediately behind it is Elaine Simois, who is in second place. Simois on her first mountain bike Eliminator World Cup, absolutely flying and into second place. But do not discount Schrotzenberger or Huberts. They could really push on, particularly as we still got the climb to come.
Well, indeed, the power going on over this bridge to secure this first place is absolutely telling. And as we've said, positioning is absolutely key, because you want to be in first place going up through here. You want a nice clean line through this technical S-bend here, because that is the place it can all come unstuck.
At the moment, everybody nailing that at the moment. Very clean riding by the riders up there. In practice, there was a lot of slipping and sliding around. And again, you can just see a third place rider making a move on the side there. Just coming up alongside Simois. They're going to be side by side coming in. And it's Simois who comes off worst at the moment. So it looks to me like that move has been made on the way through. Will it stick? We've got one more obstacle. Has Simois been able to regroup from that? I don't think she has, and this is going to cost her dear, because it is Schrotzenberger who's going to profit from it, but they're side by side coming into the corner. Who's got the kick? All three are going to have to sprint here. Simois is trying to come on the shoulder. She's not going to do it. Oh, bit of disappointment there by Aline Simois. Great racing though. She can come through. Almund Van Diest going through ahead of Valentina Schrotzenberger, with Elaine Simois behind and not making it through. Rachel Huberts getting the 4th place. Emma, take us through the race.
Absolutely, and what a start from the Van Diest in terms of that kick off the start line. Massive power going down, and she held that all the way through the race. And the move was really interesting from Schrotzenberger, actually. You know, that move came on the rock garden, a place where we don't normally see the attack, but she took that wide line coming off the top corner, and it worked, and she held that second place to qualify.
She did indeed. I mean, what a move on there. And that's the advantage of taking a slightly different line. You have the opportunity to go past. So our qualifiers up on the screen.
They are indeed, in qualifying Tormena and Survel from Heat 1, Sakalova and Fromberg, Didi de Vries, Popova, Van Diest and Schrotzenberger from that final heat, all qualifying for the next round.
Okay, we are going to move very quickly across to our men's quarterfinal. Now, this is the qualifying in the time trial, but there are big changes to this in the 8th final. Now, the 8th final has really changed things around. We have going out in here, Klausman, he's out, Stiebel's out. We've got Zinny van Looy out. We've got Schrossberg and Namik out. Massive names in there as they came out from there. Going to be really interesting. I think we've lost the top two, Theo Hauser and Thibaut Kalhoven. So you can see these are the riders in your quarterfinals heats 1, 2, 3 and 4. And the big news is Kalhoven and Hauser, the two fastest riders in the time trial, wiped out, and two different issues.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've had a number of issues from crashes to chains, whether those are drop chains or broken chains, that has happened to the riders.
So it's Titian Perrin-Gagné, the world champion in the white, who should be leading us down the straight. He's not had it his own way in those 8th finals or in the time trial. In the time trial, he actually put his foot down on the climb. That caused him a big problem, and he qualified absolutely disgusted with himself. And Emma was watching that. Emma, he was not happy, was he?
He really was not happy with his own performance in that individual time trial, but he is absolutely making up for that now with a push of power there out of the corner, really cementing that lead in the heat. Riders chasing fast and furious behind because 2 to qualify, so it's not just about the rider in front.
Oh, and you can just see, I think that's going to be Eidegon behind, who had put in a fantastic ride when he was in his 8th final to go in and through. It is indeed Okan Eidegon who is in 2nd place at the moment. The riders in trouble are Sergeyenko along with Akbinar. They are the riders who could be eliminated, but look at the world champion go. It looks like he's trying to put everything behind him. That issue on the climb, the tight race that he had in his 8th finals, and he's pushing, but he's not going to be giving his own way. The home rider's pushing here. Remember, we are in Turkey. He's going to want to take this. He goes down the left-hand line, takes it tight, then winds it out wide, taking the optimum line round the corner. Now is Perrin-Gagné going to be challenged by the man beside him? I don't think he is. It is going to be a home win here. What a moment as Okan Eidegon goes in through, taking top spot. Titian Perrin-Gagné, the world champion, taking 2nd. Not often you get to say you beat the world champ on your home ground. Fantastic to see.
Absolutely, that lead being established very early on by the world champion in that rainbow jersey, leading the race out and through right until the final stages, where the Turkish rider Eidegon comes through and into the win. So
you can see on this descent that he had the lead. That was a good move, wasn't it, Amos? He came up over the bridge there, and the Turkish rider clearly very pleased with that.
yeah, I would be too if I was him.
I'm sure we all would. You can see what it means to him as he salutes the crowd in the amazing grandstands here at the venue. So it is Okan Eidegon who takes top spot from Titian Perrin-Gagné. Wow, but champs on form. Is he on enough form?
Well, yeah, I don't know whether you would want to bet against him, would you?
You wouldn't, but we've got some very fast riders already out, and we've got some very fast riders still to come. On to the second of our heats. We've got Tarasov, Messi, Auchamp, and Gegenheimer. Gegenheimer, the man that Perrin-Gagné deposed to take that world title in Barcelona last year. Away we go. So the race underway. Gegenheimer in the black, moving his way in and across, and he's got a long way to go to push himself up in front of the rest of the riders immediately behind. You can see Auchamp in the red and orange is being challenged here, and he is going to be taken out, as is Gegenheimer, who is pushed back here. Great move here, and that has been made. You can just see taking that right-hand turn. It is Antoine Auchamp who's really lost out on this now. Watch him come into this right-hand bend here. Out of the saddle, just coasts it round. He knows he can't be passed here. And Tarasov at the moment with the lead. So Kirill Tarasov of Estonia at the front of the race at the moment. He's got Gegenheimer behind him. They come up on to the climb. Now a little bit of a low gear from Gegenheimer. He's in second position, and it's very easy to stall on here, but it looks like all four riders cleanly through onto the rock garden. Now all these riders taking the right-hand line for them, the left for us as they came through, but third man taking the different line once again. Come around that left-hand turn into the right, and it looks like Tarasov is not going to have this his own way. Gegenheimer is looking behind, and Gegenheimer knows what is critical here is not to get past and not to drop into third place. He's looking to defend that position But remember, these riders are racing time and time again. Now, Orshop is going to go into third place. He's sprinting for the line, but Gegenheimer knows he's got that secure. Great ride by Tarasov.
It was amazing. Look at the disappointment there in Orshop as it comes over the line. Absolutely disappointed with third position, but you're right, Matt. Absolutely phenomenal racing out of the start from Gegenheimer to push the power down and lead out the riders in that heat. But the move there by Tarasov, that has got to be the move so far of the men's competition, because he came past Gegenheimer, pushed Gegenheimer into second and secured that win, crossing the line first.
And it left him that security coming round, but he's used a lot of energy, which maybe Gegenheimer has saved some.
Maybe we shall see in the latter rounds.
We will indeed. So you can see Gegenheimer coming through 0.33 down as we move on to the next of our quarterfinals. This is heat number 3 of our quarterfinals. There's 15 seconds to go. Board goes across. Now Matsumoto of Japan, we have Yuka of Turkey, along with Akim of Turkey and Molnar of Romania. In that order across your straight, who gets the best start here? Well, it looks to me big problems on the start line. That looks like that is going to be a snap chain, and out of the competition is going to be Molnar of Romania. That means that we have 3 riders and they are fighting it out. It is going to be the Japanese rider who's leading at the moment, but the 2 local riders who ride for the Sakarya squad here, they are going to be fighting against each other, and the Japanese rider. This could be very tight indeed. They were all very close on their time trial positions, and you can just see at the moment, great riding here. So it looks to me like it is going to be the man from Japan who's going to lead up, but look at the buzz on that back tyre. It's Akam who is all over him while rubbing his racing, and that is definitely going on the way into that climb. But at the moment, Matsumoto has the lead now. Move on the side there, but Matsumoto carried so much pace through that rock garden, super smooth. He comes into the left-hand turn. 3 riders, 2 positions where riders can come through. Is the Japanese rider going to be secure? He should be, but he drops into second place, and now you've got the home man, Birkin Akam, in the lead, and it's close behind. Oh! Massively bad landing. He almost going to slide out. They're all over. They're going to have to run for the line. What a final. That could have been the best race that we have seen in Eliminator for a long time. What a win there. Akam can hardly believe it. And we thought it was over at so many stages.
Well, we did indeed, didn't we? And, you know, as you always say, you've got to get the bike over the line. And I think that was an absolute show of that happening and that mattering. Because from the start, what a heat. Chain snapped. It's just nuts, isn't it? Absolutely. The Japanese rider thought he had it, Matsumoto, absolutely. And then he gets overtaken, and then he comes around the final corner, still in a qualifying position, to slide out. For the rider who had the issue on the descent of the final technical obstacle to be able to come past running to take that second qualification place. What a heat.
Oh, wow, just about got my breath back. So look at that, Mono not finishing because he had a snap chain. You got Matsumoto sliding out, and Yuka must be the luckiest man, apart from landing on the bike, quite how he did at the bottom of the landing. That's going to smart. We'll see whether he sits down on that saddle on the next of them, and you can just see Matsumoto limping his way out of the course here. Heel fast, buddy. Now, on to the next of our heats, heat 4. Kaya, Stiebel, Schwarzenberger and Nemec, 2 riders from France in the centre. Schwarzenberger, very, very quick. He's the man who does some very entertaining moves on everybody else. But look at this, a really fast kick from the side there by Nemec. Now, it is going to be Nemec who's going to lead them up. He's got them in line instead. Schwarzenberger's looking to make a move on the side. He goes round the outside. They are side by side. Who's going to give it? It's going to be Nemec. And Schwarzenberger going up into the lead at the moment. Quentin Schwarzenberger leading this race out now. He's put 1 trademark move in. He shouldn't have to make another, but anything can happen. This is XCE. This is the mountain bike eliminator coming to you from Sakarya in Turkey. Round number 1 of 6. And boy, I'm already looking forward to putting words to the action for the rest, because this is frantic. Now, Schwarzenberger onto the climb out of the saddle. He's really ragging the bike about. He's in a huge gear there. That surely was a mistake as he went up and over Now he's got problems with the gears. He's got to hold this together. Oh, he's styling it up off the jump. Clearly confident, Schwarzenberger. Will it cost him? Well, he's now taking a look up in front. Nemec sitting in second place. Stiebel and Kaya still fighting behind him. But let's see who is going to take this up over the top. Massive, massive whip as he comes up onto the top. He's looking behind. You can take a little quick check behind. Stiebel in second place now. So Stiebel in second place behind Schwarzenberger. Big sprint coming from Nemec. It's not going to count. Look at that great riding there as they come in and through. They get the applause of the crowd.
Well, one very confident rider there in Schwarzenberger, but he didn't have it all his own way. Nemec went off the line first in that heat. Schwarzenberger led then into the first corner, side by side and up and round, and that's where the move came into first place. It wasn't much longer after till Stiebel took Nemec for second and third, and it all changed in the middle of the race. So as we rolled out, it was indeed Nemec who took the line until it was Schwarzenberger who came round on that corner and led. And look at that, a confident ride there as we see him styling it up on that final obstacle. Stiebel taking the second position for qualification today.
One-handed wheelie and a salute to the crowd. What more could you want when you go over the line with the win? Fantastic stuff as they come in and through. So that is our men's quarterfinals done. We're going to move on from there very shortly, but let's confirm who is going through. So it's Eidegen with Perrin Gagne, along with Tarasov and Gegenheimer, Akam and Yucca, and Schwarzenberg and Stiebel. They are your qualifiers that will go through from our quarterfinals into the semi-finals. All the rest of the riders, their race is run for today at round one. Now we're going to move on to our semi-finals. This is our women's semi-finals. Gaia Tomania, Didi De Vries, Irina Popova, Meryl Silvel. Heat 1, Heat 2, Marion Fromberger, Almund van Deest, Aline Sakalova, and Valentin Schwarzenberger, the riders in the second of our semi-finals. Now, in this, 2 riders will go through to our big final, which is the main final for positions 1 to 4. 2 riders will go through into the minors finals, which is from 5 to 8.
And the 15-second notification comes across in front of our riders as Cyril, Popova, Tormena and De Vries line up for the go.
Away they go, and this is the kick-off. Expect Tormena to put in a big power hit. Oh, and problems. That's another chain gone. That's already one rider out of the competition. Now that means that there are 2 riders out of the 3 who are going to take themselves in and through the finish, or should do if they get there in one piece, being led by what is the world champion Stripes, those familiar rainbow bands of Gaia Tormena. Then it's De Vries in 2 immediately behind. And that looks to me like that is going to be Popova, who's sitting in what is 3rd place, and it's the Estonian Serval, I think, who's just snapped the chain on the way through. So at the moment, onto the climb, opening a huge gap. It is Gaia Tormena. She doesn't want to take any chances. She's seen all of the issues, and it is a real pressure cooker for our riders as they are sat watching the rest of the riders in action now. Out of the saddle, little kick up from Tormena, sat down there, the 2 riders behind, and this is the battle. Remember, Tormena, if she keeps it rubber side down, if she holds her nerve, if she keeps calm, she should go through as the winner of this semi-final into the main finals. But of the 2 riders behind, one will be in the battle for 5th to 8th place, one should be in the battle for 1st to 4th. Who's it going to be? Well, they're behind our world champion. No chances being taken, and it's Didi De Vries who comes into sight at the top of that big container down into this left-hand turn. Now, last year that dropped down, so a lot of riders have problems. It's seen issues already. The sprint is on behind, but De Vries does just enough to come through. Not to be Popova's day. She will be in 3rd place, but she will get the chance to race again in the minor finals for 5th to 8th position. Wow, what racing. Now, Emma, take us through this. I mean, Tormena, awesome.
Absolutely, but your heart goes out to the snap chain on the start line, doesn't it, to Cyril, the Estonian rider who didn't make it off of the start straight, but Tormena showed her dominance really early in this round. In this heat, she absolutely cruises her way to the final, winning her semi. De Vries coming in 2, and Popova moving to the small final, not the major final today. So it was Popova indeed who struggled to qualify there and finished in 3rd place.
So you can see those time gaps in front of you are win by Tormena with 3 in 2nd place. Now onto the 2nd semi-finals. It is Valentina Strassenberger. You've got Sakarya, Van Diest and Fromberger across the straight here. Fromberger potentially being the rider who should be able to take this, but she's got Van Diest who looks so strong in her heat here at the moment. Amu Van Diest is taking the lead here. The yellow fox on that bike leading them up on the super slope immediately behind. You can see that Sakarya is not giving up on this in the slightest. Move right onto the wide line. Wow, massive move being made there. There was a bit of bumping across there to get in at 2nd place by Marion Fromberger, but she asserts her experience there, I think, and just put herself in the right place. The wide line coming in, dived in. This is the next tight right-hand turn, so we've got the right-left chicanes coming up. It's basically a flat turn here. You're not going to win the race, but you could lose it. It's getting strong. Interesting to see a lot of the riders using the grass rather than the dust on the way round those turns, and the back is in that 2nd, 3rd place at the moment, because it looks to me like Amu Van Diest has got a sizable margin here as she comes up onto the track. Now Fromberger just leaning over the bike, just trying to get it round that turn, and I wouldn't say that either of the 2 riders behind are out of the running for 2nd place. It's not that huge, but it could open as we go into the big container bridges that go up and over. So at the moment it's Van Diest, and it looks to me like Fromberger's got the pacing just right here. She looks over her shoulder. Marion Fromberger, very experienced rider at XCE. She moves up into 2nd place and holds it, and at the moment I don't think she's going to be challenged, but you know we are not going to see Sakarya give up on this. She's going to come round tight on the inside. Big push goes from Van Diest, then it's Fromberger. They are going to be the 2 riders through, and a cruise really for Van Diest there.
Yeah, it was indeed. I find the final is going to be really interesting to watch with Van Diest and Tormena, because the power off the start line for Van Diest today, when both her heats, absolutely exceptional. Just absolutely shown us the watts that she can drive through those pedals. So she came out of that start line in 1, but it wasn't that push on the first climb between Fromberger and Sakarya who put Fromberger into 2nd place. Sakarya just could not bounce back throughout the whole of that heat, so relegated to 3rd, and it'll be the small final for her.
So as you can see, the qualifiers for the main final in the room for the top 3 places: Tormena, De Vries, Van Diest and Fromberger. Wow, absolutely packed racing so far. That is our women's semi-finals done and dusted, which means we're going to move on to our men's semi-finals. It is Simon Gegenheimer, Tituan Kirill Tarasov and Okan Heidegger in the very first of those. This is going to be really critical. Let's see who will go through, who will be in the chase, who is going to have to make some moves. Two champions, world champion, current champion in the old white with the rainbow band. Moving up, Gegenheimer takes a look at how many times do I need to hear. You can see it being protested. He came up on the side, he up back as they come through. Gegenheimer really is pushing here, and he has gone on the inside there. He's just pushed back. Heidegger behind in third place. This is very tight aspect in that battle, and he's leaving Perrin clear run over the moment. Now the energy going for the front saves afterwards, because you can ride your own race, not having to fight behind. Gegenheimer, where not riding in front, but riding behind. big charge coming here. There's a couple on the coming up here. Good. Still on this climb, but you can see the world champion decline down here, opening again. I'm in second place, and on that third place now. He goes. Can he stay on his way? Surely knows that the pressure is off. He wants to goes into the finish. No, only need too much necessary. This now clever riding going on. They are not giving it everything they can. He's just looking around. He's keeping checking what's going on. Mr. Mustache is home. Taking it easy in the black and the rainbow jersey. Riding big bumpers knowing that they have very good.
That semi-final men's Gary Gagne coming out like showing tension and take a look around our start line, what the others were doing. Then Gary Gagne out into the lead. Guggenheimer between second so champion and the rider who led the World Cup last year, going through into icon.
So you can see there, he's number one. Gary Gagne and Guggenheimer through. Riding there, and really impressive by Gary Gagne. Guggenheimer could come back then.
Yeah, I think he looks more than the riders in fourth than he did Gary Gagne out front.
So the 52nd point going across Steel, Rosenberger and Kakem. Your riders are going to be fighting in. So can do this with Henry. You're going to do this. They are up against two very riders. One of which is Rosenberger. He's not afraid to get it. Yeah, but he's going to lead into live. And then great coming down here. He's not afraid of the reputation. He's up Rosenberger. He wants to have the second well, he's first place. Racer side. There's nothing in this. And Steve runs him wide there. Massive run wide by anyone. Came and Rosenberger back. That goal is well really slammed in his face there by Steve. Getting through as they come around now. Rosenberger. He goes away. Steve there. The elbow here. And he's Rosenberger. But he's waiting. He's having to run now. He's in the way. Time remains. Steve on by that. And it looks like so strong as so fast. But away with it. What will happen when he's ready to drive those gears? Rosenberger. He's all over. In the end, that's on his feet. They're going to take the right hand. Steve got him. And so he's going to just wants to have Rosenberger. And look at this left hand side. He's trying to put up Steve. He's trying to put up tight order. Now he's going to finish this. He's pushing hard. Rosenberger taking second. Oh, so close.
Wow. What? Can you believe what you have seen? That was absolutely incredible. And Rosenberger pushing so hard there. Well, let's just take a stop. He's on the side. Steve and Rosenberger going to that third corner. And then in right the way. Elbows. Rosenberger going to lead. Then this they climb, making run top and help and happy man. Holding on behind. Steve through into it. He's out by a win.
Got a feel for him there. That was absolutely scary. And I think maybe won't believe going through. I suspect may well be able to have a little bit of a judgment now. The race cycling. I call said make sure that there was foul play leading the way through. But there is confirmed these are your final have small final women and then the men and they are major winners and men's finals and we have started them maybe not who we expected when we first looking at the start list and the riders time results. No rest for our riders. We are in to our women's minor final first of all. 3 riders, because we didn't get that qualification of the rider with the broken chain, which means that Schwarzenberger on the left, Sakarya in the middle, and Popova on the right. Is going to be very interesting. Now, of these riders, I suspect that we're going to see a massive fight coming from Popova and Sakarya. Don't discount Schwarzenberger, but I think for me, Popova and Sakarya are 2 of the really unlucky riders to not have gone through, and maybe with a little bit more experience, a little bit more riding on the circuit, as we go in, they're going to move up, and that's going to make things very, very close indeed. So, at the moment, Schwarzenberger not panicking, currently in 3rd position in this race. Remember, this is the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th places in the competition. So you can just see the white jersey there with the Ukrainian bands leading out. So Ukraine in the lead at the moment, Kazakhstan in 2nd place. And then you can just see immediately behind Schwarzenberger. These riders, though, are fighting for position. They are fighting for those points that they will get in the series. Those points will move through the whole of the World Cup series. Remember, we have got some great racing all the way in and around. We're kicking off in Asia here in Sakarya at the moment. I think these positions pretty much set where they are aiming to be, but you can just see this is going to be, I think, a pretty smooth ride at the moment. You can just see crouched low over the bars is Popova.
Yeah, indeed, and Popova has pulled away on that climb and then extended that lead through the rock garden. The race was on behind, but Sakarya and Schwarzenberger, the 2 riders fighting it out for 2nd and 3rd in this small final.
So here we go. It is going to be a win in the minor final. It's going to be 5th place. She comes in over the line there for Irina Popova. You can see that it will be just coming in behind. Interestingly, just giving her feet a shake as she comes in through. And that's going to be Sakarya. This race, though, it was won from the start, really, wasn't it, here, Emma?
Well, you know, it was really interesting, wasn't it? You know, got to give Sakarya her due because she really pushed up on that first climb and she tried to come up on the outside of Popova into that first main corner, but she didn't make it. And Popova then just rode away. She rode away on that climb. She extended her lead through the rock garden and the jump, and she takes that win in the small final today.
Well, that's our first small final of the day done, and those are our positions from 5th, 6th and 7th in the women's competition. We are going to move on to the men's minor final. So Furkan Akam, Emre Yuka, Kirill Tarasov and Okan Aydogan. And you can see just how fast this turnaround is for the riders. They hardly get time to draw breath, so away we go. What can Akam be thinking? It's not all that long ago. It's only a couple of minutes ago where he had that super tough fight. And it looks to me like he is out of the running here. He looks like he's going to be settling for 8th place. But look at this big kick coming here as they come up on to the climb. There is no way that the riders want to give this up at all. Now, Tarasov is leading this out. Kirill Tarasov leading out. Remember, he's the rider who we thought was going to take it. He was ejected out and pushed down the standings in the final stage. Really interesting to see he is up against another of our Turkish riders, and it's Aydogan who is behind him. Then you can just see Yuka coming through on his heels. There is a really good battle actually just developing behind our leader, but I tell you something, Tarasov has shown just what he could have done. I think at the moment he's got a gap now on Aydogan, and Aydogan currently sitting in 2nd position, and it's Yuka who is in 3rd place. But this looks to be pretty much plain sailing here for Tarasov. Will we get him started up, or is he going to do just enough as he comes in? Risky at this stage, and there's points at stake, so can't imagine he's going to take any risk, surely.
It's not that far behind now because of the steady pace Tarasov has been riding at. The 2nd place rider coming through there. So Aydogan moving through into 2nd place and now coming much closer to Tarasov, who comes through in 1.
Well, that is a good reward. It's still going to get points. They are going to be up in the top 8. It's going to be a 5th place in the competition for Tarasov. You can see, though, that this was about getting power off from the start. And you've got to feel for Akin, the rider who had just been racing in the last of those quarterfinals. He's absolutely shot and rides through behind. But Tarasov, making this look easy on his way through and probably ruined the fact he didn't make the big final.
Well, I think we may see more of Tarasov as the season rolls out because I think he's got a lot more to give.
So you can see that we have got Tarasov, Edigan, Yuka and Akam as the riders who were in 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th position. They are the riders who will take away those points. But this is the women's main final. This is for the win in World Cup round number 1. De Vries, Van Diest, Tormena and Fromberger, your top 4 riders. But in what order will this be at the end? Who's got the power? Who's got the speed? Can anybody challenge Tormena? Away they go. This start is critical, but there are so many overtaking opportunities. And I tell you something, Tormena is not getting it all her own way. You can see Fromberger on her left, our right. And I think there's going to be a squeeze behind Tormena. And is anybody going to be able to profit from it? And it's Fromberger who goes up into the lead here. And Tormena pushed to the side there as they came in. Fromberger holding P1, Tormena in 2. Now Tormena in an unfamiliar position. She normally leads from the gun. She has had to chase back before, but what will happen? She's under pressure now. And it's Fromberger who is leading. So Fromberger takes that right-hand turn quickly back on the pedals. Look at the revs coming down. She's got it in an easier gear. Tormena tries to move on the right-hand side. Look at the elbows there, Fromberger. And she's stalled, and it looks like Tormena is off the course. She had a disastrous round number 1 when we were in Abu Dhabi last year. And she's off the course there now. Our commentators will be taking a look at that. She was side by side with Fromberger. And it's Fromberger in 1. It's Van Diest in 2 at the moment. And in the 3rd place, it is going to be De Vries. This is going to be what should be a clear win for Fromberger, but she will be hoping that that is seen as a racing incident as they come through. Well, rubbing is racing, and they were rubbing elbows as they came round that turn. Down the descent we go. This should be a win in round number 1. She takes a super wide line. It's going to be Marion Fromberger, your winner of round 1 of the mountain bike Eliminator World Cup. The sprint is on for 2nd and 3rd place. It comes down to the line. Who's going to take it? It's going to be a photo finish. Fromberger taking top spot on the line, and Van Diest just edges out Didi De Vries. According to that, we'll wait to get that confirmed because that looked incredibly tight. Emma, take us through the action.
Well, I tell you, everything is happening in Turkey today because they were side by side, all 4 of them down that start line. What power came from those pedals down that start of that final today. They had positioning challenges coming into the first corner. You know, Fromberger went in front of Tormena. They were side by side. Tormena off the course. Fromberger continues in 1. Van Diest in 2. De Vries in 3. That is one happy rider across the line.
It is, but we can't discount the fact that there was a slide. It looked like Tormena ran out to the right-hand side down through the text now. There is a degree of shoulder-to-shoulder allowed, but you can't shoulder barge anybody. Am I right, Emma?
Absolutely. So shoulder contact is allowed in XCE, though you are not intentionally allowed to shoulder barge someone.
Well, we'll have to wait for that confirming, and we'll see that very shortly. But let's get on with our men's final. They've got a lot to live up to. Let's see if Eddie Steele, Tituan Peringani, Quinton Schwarzenberger, and Simon Gegenheimer can show us just what they're made of. Now, the world champion in the white will want to lead from the front. He's seen what can happen to our world champions if they get headed. Simon Gegenheimer, though, in the black, his nemesis is side by side, and Gegenheimer eases off the throttle. He takes a look around. He allows Peringani to take the lead there. I think he knew that Peringani had more power. Now he's got to watch behind him, and the man behind him, who would you not want behind you? You wouldn't want that man. That is, of course, going to be Schwarzenberg. Look at this. This is going to be tight. 1 and 2 at the moment. The current world champion, the former world champion, the man who he beat in Barcelona last year, are coming around these turns in 1 and 2. At the moment, though, Schwarzenberger is being distanced just by the sheer power and pace of the world champion and the former world champion. Now onto the climb, and a foot down by Gegenheimer. That's cost him a lot of time. Schwarzenberger's up on his wheel now. Schwarzenberger tries to make a move. Now, would you put it past Schwarzenberger trying to over jump on the way through to try and make the ground. Perrin Gagne has got a clear run here. The world champion in his first World Cup after taking those rainbow stripes in Barcelona. He's sprinting for this big climb up like it's the finish line. He's going to drop down. He's got to keep it calm. Behind him, you can just see Gegenheimer dropping down. Schwarzenberger, I think he's got nothing left. He may well have overcooked it somewhere now. Perrin Gagne runs wide. It is Titouan Perrin Gagne. He is number one. The world champion takes top spot. Gegenheimer is taking number two. Well, you can see the Frenchman is really winding that crowd up, and with good reason. Gegenheimer comes through in second place. Schwarzenberger in third. What a race, Emma.
Absolutely. Mountain Bike Eliminator just keeps giving round after round as we've seen Perrin Gagne and Gegenheimer side by side on that start peak. But Gegenheimer looked around and Perrin Gagne went into the lead and he held that lead all the way around. The only rider with an instant really was Gegenheimer with that foot down on the climb.
And great to see the sportsmanship between these two riders. They have been such good rivals for so long, and that is your results on the screen. Perrin Gagne taking top spot, Gegenheimer taking second place, and then it is Schwarzenberger taking away third place. Great racing across the men's and women's competition today, Emma.
Absolutely, and you could not have predicted any of those results today. Yet looking at that men's results list, you're not surprised.
No, and in some ways it kind of reflects the end of the season last season. So the riders are doing a fantastic job. So great riding by our riders to come through. Emma, this is round number one. We have got lots more action to come. Where do we go next?
We do indeed. So 6 World Cups across 5 different countries through 2023. We've started in Turkey. Next we head to Belgium. We're in Leuven.
And then that is on the 4th of June. After that we head to
Allen in Germany on the 15th of July. We're in Oudenaarde back in Belgium on the 13th of August.
And then after that, we are in to Paris, home of the Olympics in France. New venue, and I believe you've been there.
I have indeed. I'm really looking forward to it. I, like many tourists, have had my lunch on the steps of Montmartre, and I'm looking forward to seeing them racing down it.
And that's on the 16th of September. We then have Barcelona in Spain, which was our World Championships last year. But then we round off the season with the World Championships. Really looking forward to this one in Indonesia.
Yeah, so Palangkaraya on the 15th of October is the World Championships, and that will round out the XCE season.
Fantastic, and looking forward to putting more section. Let's hear from Marion Fromberger, who's down to interview now. That's a very big smile on Marion's face.
I'm unbelievable happy. It's so good to start the season with a victory, and yeah, the course is super, the crowd was super, and it was just amazing today.
We saw the men's race, Titouan winning here as well. This must be an amazing feeling for the whole team.
Yes, the whole team is super happy. I think we had to kill some bottles of champagne today because we have a real big team success, and Simon second, it can be better.
Do you look forward to wear the first leaders jersey here?
I really look forward to represent the leader jersey in the World Cup in 2 weeks in Leuven, and I'm happy to race again in the World Cup.
Vielen Dank, thank you.
Well, brilliant to hear from Marion Fromberger there. And she said it all there, I think. Really great day at the office for her and for Simon Gegenheimer, her teammate, and the two German riders making it to the final. And she's done an amazing job there. She kept her cool and took the lead. And she did probably the only tactic when you're faced with Gaia Tormena, put her under pressure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Track for me.
So
No, today it's just an amazing day for our team. I'm super happy to win for my first World Cup in my new team. It's a good gift for Stefan maybe, and what a cherry on the cake. Marion won the women race, Simon finished second. I think we can open a good bottle of champagne this evening.
You must feel amazed. I mean, the World Champion jersey, does it play part in this, like wearing it to win?
And yeah, it's my first World Cup win in the rainbow jersey. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm just super happy. I feel super good in my new team. It's a really nice atmosphere, and to win here in Sakarya for the grand opening, it's super, super cool.
I believe your team is going to celebrate tonight with Myron's victory as well. How do you describe this, like being part of this team first season and then scoring 2 amazing victories with the men's and women's elite?
I think it's the atmosphere, it's the super good atmosphere. It's serious, but we share a good moment together in the race and out the race. And I feel super good. The bike, my new bike is super fast. Yeah, it's an additional of a lot of things, and today I'm just happy to win my first World Cup with my new team.
Félicitations, merci beaucoup et à la prochaine. See you soon.
Yeah, so hearing there from the world champion and the winner today, Titim Peringane, just noting that teammates like to celebrate together afterwards as well.
I'm not surprised. What a way to open the season there for them. And you could see there that Titim Peringane really appreciated the fact that he could race in the rainbow jersey and take the win. Something that all of our riders want to do. And they will, of course, also be our series leaders as we move from round 1. Our riders are amassing those points on the way through. And we're going to see them come out and away. Really interesting, though, that Fromberger, who took the win in the women's, and, of course, Titim Peringane, were neither of them the fastest leaders. So we are going to bring you our flower ceremonies for our winners. Taking 3rd place in the women's competition, you can see Didi De Vries. She gets the congratulations. And takes 2nd place. But your race winner, your winner of the Mountain Bike Eliminator World Cup round number 1, it is, of course, the one and only Marion Fromberger of Germany. So your top 3 on the screen: 2 Netherlands riders, 1 German up on top, and it will be Marion Fromberger who takes the leader's jersey into round 2 in Leuven, not very far actually from where she spends a lot of time racing. So our top 3 women are done and dusted. Our men's to come, so let's catch up with them when they head down to receive their flowers as our top 3. Great to see such great crowds here in Sakarya and waiting for what's going on, and it's been a full day. There's cycling festivals and everything going on in the area. Let's see our men. They're going to be enjoying the atmosphere. A great 3rd place here today for Quinten Schrossenberger. It's a 2nd place for Simon Gegenheimer, but it is Schrossenberger's countryman from France, Titim Peringane, the current world champion, who is winner of round 1 of the UCI Mountain Bike Eliminator World Cup here in Sakarya in Turkey, powered by a City Mountain Bike. And you can see that Peringane top of the tree today. He will take that lead on from here, and we can't wait to put words to the action. Emma, today we see Marion Fromberger at the top of the standings, Van Diest in 2nd, Gaia Tormena in 3rd place. How does she go forward from here? It's a bit familiar situation to last year.
It is, isn't it? And I think it's very much a case of picking herself back up again and moving on. She did it really well last year. You know, her first opening round of the World Cup last year was her, I was going to say worst performance, but her least best performance of the season. But she went on to win time and time after again.
And when we go on to Titim Peringane, he's just continuing the form that he had at Barcelona, and that was quite a while ago, but he's carried that through. Familiar names up there, but great to see Turkey so well represented there with Akam and Yuka, and it could have been even more, couldn't it?
It could have been, and you are right, the host nation today having a really good ride in many of the events.
So great riding in the competition and some fantastic action. So you can see the riders sprinting out here. Our world champion, the amazing ride by Titim Peringane, coming up and over the top here. Great riding as he came through to take the win. We saw some great action from our home riders here in Turkey. So through the riders go, and again you could just see time and time again how much it meant to our riders here. Some amazing skills shown, and Tarasov not having a great race in the finals, but he put in a great performance in those quarterfinals. Gotta say, the home nation doing an amazing job as they came in and through. But big problems, lots of mechanics, but you could just see fantastic riding. You can just see here coming in and through issues. Our Japanese rider on the floor, he'll be picking himself up for the next round. Packed full of incident, Emma. Amazing racing.
Yeah, the heats were just continually packed today with phenomenal racing, but also issues and challenges.
It was indeed, and you could just see a foot down there as they come up on to the climb was one of the issues facing our riders. This is a one-lap course, Emma. We go to Leuven, we're going to be putting it in 2 laps. It's a cobbled, fast town centre race. It's different from this. Do you expect to see the same riders in action again?
Well, I think after the issues we had, particularly in the men's race in the time trial early on, and then into the 8th finals. So before we even went live, it was action after action, issue and challenge. And now I think we're going to see a lot of motivated riders going into Leuven.
So here we go. A great ride by Tituan Gagne, wrapping up the racing here today. It's been an absolute pleasure putting words to our action here, Emma. It's your first time on the microphone here on the Eliminator. Not your first time behind the microphone by any stretch of the imagination. You spent as much time as me behind it, I think. However, have you enjoyed it?
It has been absolutely brilliant, and I can't wait till we head to Belgium.
Well, let's see what that action has to hold for us as we make our way in and through. So, great action, great racing all the way through the day. Some really tight racing, and none tighter than when we saw our world champion Gaia Tormena sliding out and off the course in the finals. She did not to be a wheelie in the finals, although she did get in that trademark wheelie in our quarterfinals as she came in and through. So some amazing action. Have to say, got to put it to the riders. They took the action to us. They gave it everything. We have seen broken chains. We've seen slide outs. We've seen time trial winners not even make it through the 8th finals. It's been absolutely packed on the way through, and a lot of incidents.
Yeah, absolutely. But what an opening round to the XCE season for 2023.
It's been great to see. So as you can see, the action unfolded all the way through the day. We look forward to seeing these riders back in action. Our next race on the 4th of June at Leuven in Belgium. Then on the 15th of July in Aalen in Germany. We move on to the 13th of August in Oudenaarde in Belgium. And then on to the next of our races in Paris on the 6th of September. Wrapping up the World Cup season on the 30th of September in Barcelona in Spain. And then the World Championships, of course, in Palangkaraya in Indonesia will be our World Championships on the 15th of October. Great racing coming up. Make sure you tune in to watch more great action. So it has been an absolutely amazing set of races here. Emma, we are going to be back in Leuven. Where can we find you if our riders and our viewers want to get in touch?
Oh, get in touch with me. You can get in touch with me at Biking Emma on Instagram. You
can get in touch with me at Matt Fixpay. Make sure you jump on, of course, to the hashtags of the Mountainbike, the XCE Eliminator. And make sure, of course, you give the City Mountainbike a follow on the social media. But from all of the team behind the scenes, from Emma Martin and from myself, Matt Payne, stay safe. We'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.